we'll get started. Happy March freaking 10th. Cannot believe it is already this far into the month. Abby's like, we're on the phone today, she's like, it's like halfway through the month already. I'm like, what? We have less than 2 weeks until a few of us are headed on the cruise. I'm so pumped. But that is even more reason to focus on our journeys and be all freaking in with our workouts and our nutrition. But I want to share my screen. We'll get through this quickly because I'm so excited to have Cassie share tonight and bring the motherfucking fire. So, got lots of stuff pulled up. Where's the little present thing? Well, I don't know where the present thing is. Do you guys see it? Is it this? Maybe? Computer's being hella slow. Anyways, can you guys see this? No? Let me try this again. How about now? It says it's sharing.
Are you trying to show us your the leaderboard?
Yeah.
It was just on there.
Okay, let me try it. Let me share it again. Can you see it now?
Right now it says that it's just loading. There we go. It's showing on my.
Okay, it's just being super slow apparently. Okay, so leaderboard for March already. We have on the board Sam changing 1 life, Jess changing a life, Katie changing a life, Bree up there with 2 lives, and Megan up there with 2 lives, both with brand new coaches, so awesome, and myself with 3. So it is the 10th of the month, so we gotta keep sending those invites. Make sure you have your game plan for the month and you know what you're inviting to. I know I was just talking to Sam about this on the phone, so I will mention more about this on the next slide, I believe. But before I switch, didn't switch, right? Our coach of the week this week is Megan, and this is just because she came in with freaking fire. She dove right into her training, finished her training in like 1 or 2 days, started asking all the questions, going out and finding the answers for herself, started implementing everything that I was saying. I would say, she'd be like, okay, what do I, what can I do to like get myself off to the right start right away? I'd say, do this, share your like before pictures, do this. And she just implemented immediately and has already changed 2 lives. She actually is already Emerald. She will be an official Emerald on Thursday, which is so awesome. So it just really goes to show, like when you come in with fire and you have that desire, you have that mission, and you just show up and you go out and do the things, you're going to get results. So just keep freaking bringing that fire. Such an inspiration to all the new coaches on here and to us coaches who have been in it for a while. Just show us what we're capable of. It's so awesome. So let me share next one. If it'll change. Yo, being so slow tonight. Okay, announcements for the week. So Portion Fix obviously came out for us coaches on last Monday. We were able to order it. I just got my stuff in yesterday. I'm so excited. I got the Fixate book and the workbook and everything. So I'm going to be actually starting the actual training like this week, starting to like go through the videos. So if you haven't gotten it yet, do it. This is an investment in your business. We are business owners, so we should be, like on top of the newest things and the newest trainings. And this is just so awesome that they're offering this to us to get certified in it, because it not only gives us more credibility, but it just gives us more confidence, because we can now actually help our coaches even more on the nutrition side of things, which is what a lot of people struggle with. So I am doing, and I know a lot of the coaches are doing, the nutrition test group. I did post a video in the team page that Ashley did explaining like her whole breakdown of it. So make sure you check that out. You can just like search in the tab, the search bar, like Portion Fix Nutrition Test Group, and her video will pop up. So make sure you watch that and just kind of follow along, see what us other coaches are doing, and just kind of implement. Don't try and like reinvent the wheel. Like I'm taking what Ashley's doing, I'm making it my own. You guys take what I'm doing, make it your own, and just follow the steps. I did upload a file into the files tab of just the breakdown of the email that Ashley is sending and that I'm sending to all of my prospects that filled out my form. Make sure you create a form. It literally takes 2 minutes, guys, to do that on Google Forms. But I'm going to be taking 10 girls into that test group and just be diving in completely with them. And I think it's going to be so awesome. And I'm so excited to like see the results and go through the program together with them. But it does officially come out for regular customers next week, but you can sign people as discount coaches so that they can get access to it right away. So that's totally up to you, but I'm probably going to be signing people as discount coaches to do that, which is another great way to get yourself to Diamond. So next thing is Coach Summit. They are having a sale on the tickets March 24th through the 31st. So make sure that is in your calendar if you do not have your Summit ticket yet. You guys, I will say it 1,000,001 times, probably every single day until Summit comes, but you need to freaking be there. This is an investment in your business, but it's the best experience ever, and that's really all I can say. You can ask any coach that's ever been to a summit. This will be my 4th one, and honestly, guys, I've hung around for this long because of like the live events and the community, and just it's incredible to be around people, be around other coaches, the environment, the fire that it lights under you, all of the amazing training that you get to go through while you're there, the live workouts with the trainers. It's just the best experience you could ever do. Say yes to it, make it a priority, and just freaking figure out a way to get your ass there. I had to ride in a car for 14 hours with a lady I had never met in order to get to my first one. So like really there's no excuses. You can never have an excuse to not get your ass to Summit with me. It's just not going to work. Next thing is Success Starter. If you are a brand new coach and you change 3 lives this month, you get what's called the Success Starter Month 1 reward, which is it's like a recorded call with Holly Hillier, who is a top 10 coach. So that's a really awesome incentive to just work towards another, just amazing thing as a coach. We're constantly just getting rewarded with everything under the sun. Next 2 things, last things, is I'm still doing the headband incentives. So if you rank advance your business this month or you hit Success Club 10, you are getting a headband. I am sending them out tomorrow with cards and cute stuff. So just be on the lookout for those. And then our biggest freaking announcement, I cried my eyes out. Guys, we are number 474 in the whole freaking network out of 400,000 other teams. Like, I was literally in tears. I felt like I was going to pee my pants and just like scream and cry at the same time. Best freaking feeling ever. We are seriously moving on up and we have so much growth happening. It's so exciting, and it's because of you guys. It's because of the hard work that you're putting in and the lives that you're changing. So like, let's keep going, because it's going to be so incredible at Summit to be recognized as one of those like top teams, elite teams. So let's keep going. All right, next thing. So slow. I really think I might have to invest in a new computer. That's on my goal list, apparently. Okay, quick week in advance. I posted this already, but National Wake Up Call on Monday, team call with Team Elevate Tuesday. We're doing a live power hour on Wednesday. And then next Sunday, we have our team call with Michaela Bartolakis, and I'm so excited about that. So make sure this is all in your calendar. And then last but not least, our guest speaker tonight is Cassie Jackson. I always like to call her Cassie Schmelzinger, and it's weird to say Jackson. But Cassie has been a coach for, I think, 3 years now. Correct me if I'm wrong when you get on. But we have just been able to like grow in this business together, and I've loved watching her just freaking slay. And she is an amazing mom, an amazing leader, and just has been seriously kicking ass. She's hit like $1,000 in the past 6 weeks. What was it? 4 months, like 6 times. Like, she is moving on up in both rank, and she got to go to a new leadership conference and is making money and changing lives, and her team is growing. So I am so excited for her to share, because she seriously brings a fire like no other. So like, make sure you freaking have your notebooks out and are paying attention. So stop my share. Where you at, girl?
No pressure. Hello, everyone. Just a forewarning before I start. Sometimes it might.
Oh, hang on one sec.
Bitch. Sometimes it might seem like I'm yelling at you, but I just get really passionate and I just like yell in general. So it's nothing against any of you guys. But yes, so today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have a squirrel brain, so we're just going to make the best of it. But I'm going to kind of talk about objections and juggling objections, slashing through them. And I'm going to talk about being here for the long haul. And I'm also going to talk about how to best recruit new challengers and new coaches to your team. So here we go. I'm going to start with objections first. I do have like a little slideshow, but that's just for me. You guys can just look at my face. So first of all, with objections, you need to be confident in what you will be providing them with. You know, if you just come off as hesitant with your response, just as much as they are with their excuse, you're going to fail. Confidence is key. I don't care like if you're not 100% confident, which you should be. This program is amazing. These products are amazing. This community is amazing. There is nothing not to be confident about here. So you need to fake it till you make it. You need to at least pretend you know what the hell you're talking about. And when people give excuses, you need to be able to relate to them. So feel, found, felt. So let's just take an example here. If someone comes to me and they're like, oh, you know, I work full time. I'm just so exhausted, you know, all the time. I don't really think I can do that. You know, I say, I feel you. You know, I used to be the exact same way. When I was working full time, I was just so exhausted all the time. I could barely even play with my daughter half of the time. And what I found was that when I was fueling my body with the right foods and I was getting that little sweat sesh in, I actually had more energy to go throughout my day to pour into the other aspects of my life. And then I'll ask a question like, if I could help you with your energy levels, do you think you'd be up to give it a try? You know, something like that. And don't just be like, when someone gives you an excuse, be like, oh, okay, like, no problem. I'll see you next month. I'm going to be honest real quick and say that's what Ashley did to me for an entire year. And I think that might be because I am a tough love person, but back then, I did need that tough love. Like, but when I was giving excuses, and it's nothing against Ashley, but you know, as the years go on and this business progresses, like she is still learning every day how to be, you know, a better coach. And she was just a baby coach back then, so I totally understand like why she didn't really dig deeper into my excuses. And there's a lot more resources to help and grow your business now. But you need to dig deeper into their objections. You know, I needed that tough love, so that's what I give. And the right people will appreciate it. They won't see it as prying. They won't see it as, you know, I'm just trying to make a sale. They will see that I truly care about why the hell they don't want to start. And I will sift through their excuses until they have nothing left to give me but a yes answer. Because I really, truly do not take no for an answer unless they stop answering me. And another thing is when you're like comfortable with someone, I'm going to give an example here, but this girl, for the past year, every week she's been signing up. I think I have sent her probably 12 share carts. I'm not kidding. And she always stops responding to me. And I'll follow up and she'll be like, oh, sorry, I really don't have the money. I really don't have the money. Well, eventually I got tired of that shit. And I told her straight up, I said, you do realize we are friends on Facebook, right? I see you getting your lashes redone. I see you getting your nails filled every 2 weeks. I see you going to concerts. I see you going out with your friends. So, like, do you really not have the money for this, or are you just wasting my time here? Because I will stop following up if you truly do not want to do this. And she's like, you're right. And then she signed up literally within the hour. Like, she actually cashed out with her share card. Sometimes people need tough love. They need their eyes open to see the bigger picture. And if you can't exactly relate to them with what they're going through, I'm 110% certain that a coach on this team had the same excuses, has the same busy schedule, is the same type of mother, is another college student. If you're not a college student and you're getting excuses that they can't because they're in college, relate to them with other people who are on this journey already on this team, whether it's a coach, whether it's a challenger, even though she's not your challenger. If she's your coach's challenger, you can relate to them in different ways. It doesn't have to be just all about you, you know? You can still relate to people without having to go through the same shit that they are going through. And also, another thing that I love to do is I slash objections openly on my page and in my Insta stories. So I'll talk about it in my stories all the time. I'll talk about picky eaters. I'll talk about not having time. I will shout out my challengers in my stories who were picky eaters and they're eating new foods, or they're super busy, but they just clocked in their workout even though they just worked a 16-hour shift, you know, and other people see them. They're like, okay, you know, like if she can do it, I can do it. And I also talk about it in posts. I will just do post for one certain objection. I do time objections all the time. I do money objections all the time through posts on social media. I do no motivation because, you know, apparently someone thinks that a motivation fairy comes to my house every day to make me get my fucking workout in, when that's not how it works, you know? So, and always, when I post an actual post about a certain objection, whatever it is, I always get at least one message. Hey, I just saw your post. You're right. What do I have to do? And duh, of course I'm right. Like, I've been in this for so long. So that is why you need to publicly slash objections and not just in the inbox. Because people are still watching you, even though like they're not answering and stuff, they're still watching what you're posting. And eventually one post will just click with them and they will finally say, okay, I'm ready. You're right. So that's pretty much all I have with objections. So I'm going to kind of go into how to recruit challengers and coaches. So I know you guys probably hear this all the time, but I have a struggle web. Now I don't actually have an actual web. I just have like a list in my notepad of things I've struggled with. So it's all things I've struggled with that kind of pertains to the challenger side. And I have things I've struggled with in my life that can go with the coaching side of things in my posts. So things in my struggle web are like my anxiety, my depression, the fact that I was a yo-yo dieter, the fact that I tried the gym twice and I actually just got a call from World's Gym that they're finally coming after me for the $800 that I owe World's Gym after 7 years when I went for 2 weeks and couldn't get out of my contract. So they finally want their $800 that it built in interest. So there's that. Yeah, I wish I would have known about Beachbody 7 years ago. The fact that I was exhausted all the time before I started. The fact that I had limited time, or so I thought I had limited time. You know, just food in general, how I always thought that healthy foods were bland, didn't taste good, didn't smell good. You know, I couldn't have pizza, I couldn't have nachos, I couldn't have burritos or tacos. Like, that was my mindset for a long time. So I always either talk about that in my stories, or I'll make posts about yummy foods that I make that are in my meal plan. I make such good food sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I do, and I'll take a picture of it and I'll be like, meal plan approved. And people are like, Really? Like that's in your meal plan? I'm like, yeah. Like, are you ready to join me, or are you going to keep eating kale chips thinking that you're going to lose 75 pounds? Stop ignoring me, you know? So now with like coaches. So some things I talk about publicly on my page that will attract coaches. So the fact that I used to work all holidays, like I used to fight with my coworkers about who is getting what holiday off. And sometimes, because I used to get Brooklyn, I do get Brooklyn. I get Brooklyn every other year on a holiday. So like if her dad has her last Christmas, I have her this Christmas. And sometimes I would have her on that holiday and my boss would be like, well, Darcy already put in her request. I don't know if I can give you off. And I'm like, I didn't see my kid last year for Christmas. And Darcy, who is 45 years old and doesn't even have any kids, is going to get seniority over me, who I haven't even seen my kid last year for Christmas. Like, no, that's ridiculous. I used to work every single weekend. How Brooklyn's schedule is set up with her father is I get her during the week and he gets her on the weekends. So I had no choice but to give away my weekend life to work, because I wanted to have off as many days during the week as I could as possible to be able to actually hang out with my kid instead of dumping her at babysitters' houses or daycare and not seeing her for only a few hours a night because I was working all the time. So I gave away my weekend life. My friends all going to the beach all day on weekends while I'm stuck at work in a building. I got a shit raise yearly. The 1 year I got a 27-cent raise. I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. I never call off. I called off once that year because I had strep throat, and I still came in the day after when I wasn't contagious, although I was still dying. Like, I gave so much to that company, and they rewarded me with a 27-cent raise. So I always talk about how Beachbody, my company, my job, spoils the shit out of me. I'm going on a cruise in 11 days for the hard work that I did. And the hard work that I did at a 9 to 5 gave me a 27-cent raise. I was always living paycheck to paycheck. Guys, I do not care. Let me talk about this real quick and hopefully without crying. But I don't care if you made $50 on Thursday. You can talk about that. That's someone's electric bill. That's someone's food on the table for their children. That is someone's gas money to get them through and be able to get them to work until they can get paid again. When I was a mom and I lived paycheck to paycheck, I convinced myself one time that I did not need deodorant. $1 stick of deodorant, I convinced myself that I didn't need because I only had $3 in my bank account, and it was still a week until I got paid. I was wearing the same shoes up 4 years after high school that I was wearing in high school. I wasn't able to start buying new clothes for myself until I started coaching. Coaching gave me the ability to buy deodorant when I want, to buy myself new clothes instead of the clothes that were either too small or too big from high school, and the shoes that had holes in them that I couldn't even walk outside with when it was raining because my feet would get soaked. So I don't care if you don't think that $50 is like something to brag about. That is something to brag about. That is someone's money that is missing from their lives that they desperately would love to have. $50 is a lot. I have friends now, in high school, I had 2 friends. You want to know what happened when those 2 friends were in school, which was all the time because they're bitches? I didn't even go and eat lunch in the lunchroom because everyone else had friends. Everyone else had a table to go to. Everyone else was gossiping and talking to each other, and I would sit there very awkwardly at a table by myself and eat the food. And it was so embarrassing. So I would just not eat. I would roam the halls until lunch was over and go to my next class starving because I didn't want to go through that. And coaching has given me the best friends I could ever ask for, who are there for me, who support me, that hype me up, that want me to do better. And the friends that I do have, they don't have any of those qualities that you guys do. Like, yeah, they're friends, but like, they're friends. Like, you guys are my best friends, and I don't even know half of you, like, actually in person yet, but I consider you guys my best friends, you know? And another thing is, I use coaching as my accountability partner, because if I was not a coach by now, I probably would have given up. But because coaching gives me a paycheck, and not only a paycheck, but it also gives me eyes on me, and now I have clients who are depending on me to get my shit done. It's okay, it's not your fault. So, sorry, one sec. I don't understand why it asks if we are still watching after one episode. It's so annoying. Okay.
You said I'm like so annoying.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But yeah, like, coaching just gives me that extra accountability to keep on going, because I probably would have given up on myself by now, because this shit isn't easy. But the fact that, one, I get paid to do this, two, I have other people like waiting for me to fail, because you know those you have those assholes on your page who are like, she's not going to do this forever, she's going to give up. So I did it because of that, and I did it because I started getting clients. And when you get that first client, it's like everything changes. You're like, oh my God, like, they need to see that I'm working out. They need to see that I'm eating right. So I talk about that too, because there's so many people who are on a fitness journey who fall off and go back on, fall off and go back on, but they refuse to join me. They refuse to coach. So I talk about that all the time to drill it in their head that coaching is the answer and it's not the problem. I talk about how, you know, whenever Brooklyn is sick from school, I always make a post, like, I'll take a picture of me and her. But the fact that I don't have to scatter when Brooklyn is sick or home from school, because like a vacation or teacher-parent conferences, whatever, before, when I had a full-time job, I always had to depend on someone else to take care of my child when she was sick. Because I had to work. I couldn't miss hours at work, so she was always with a grandparent. Do you really think my kid wanted a grandparent while she was sick? No, she wanted her mother. She wanted her mother to cuddle with her, but I couldn't give that to her. I couldn't give that to her because I needed to provide for my family. So what was I going to do? Miss a bill because my child was sick? I had to pick the more reasonable one. You know, I couldn't not pay her bills, so she was always stuck with someone else. And she was always sick because she doesn't have an immune system. She was born only 1 pound 9 ounces. She's a perfect healthy baby, except for the fact that her immune system is shit. And it hasn't been shit since she's actually started drinking Shakeology. She rarely gets sick now. But before Shakeology was in the picture, she was always constantly sick. Strep, hand, foot, and mouth. You know, the flu, everything. She caught every single thing that grazed her. And she was always at a grandparent's house, and I was always at work feeling like shit and feeling guilty because I couldn't take care of my child because I had to provide for her. And now I don't have to do one or the other. And, you know, obviously time with Brooklyn. What? Yeah. And obviously, you know, I get time with Brooklyn now that I'm a coach. So when I quit my job, Brooklyn was in that weird stage where I was able to pull her out of daycare, but we only had, I think, 7 months until she started pre-K from 9 a.m. to 2:30. So I was able to soak in those last 7 months with her without having to go to a job and drop her off at daycare. You know, and lose those hours because I only get her a limited time a week. I was able to soak in every single second for those last 7 months until she started regular school, all because of coaching. So that is pretty much all of that. So now I'm just going to talk about why it's important to be here for the long haul. So honestly, I hate when my coaches are little whiny babies, because that's what it sounds like when they're like, no one's answering me, like, shush, because I get so annoyed about that, because it took Ashley, like I said, an entire year to get me to join with her. And throughout that time, Ashley, I wasn't the only person Ashley was reaching out to. Yes, I was saying no to her. Yes, I was giving her excuses, but she wasn't sitting there and being like, all right, well, I'll ask her next month. No, she was getting shit done. She was finding the yes people now while I figured out my shit. And, you know, sometimes you just have to wait for people. The one time when Ashley followed up with me, I think I told her I started a fitness journey and like I was doing really good. Literally, I shit you not, I was eating mozzarella sticks watching Sons of Anarchy while I was messaging her. Like, I just lied to her because I could, because she couldn't see me, you know, and she's like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, yeah, like, it's great, you know, and then she stopped bothering me for another month. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted her to leave me alone, you know? So it took me an entire year to gain that trust, to actually sign up with her. And I just got paid. Maddie, stop it. I just got paid, and it was a year later. And I was laying on my bed. I just got home from work. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I felt so disgusting in my own skin. And I was scrolling social media. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I was literally having like a revelation to myself on my bed, scrolling social media, phone in hand. Boom. Ashley pops up. Literally, like, God sent, I don't believe in God really, but like God sent her to me. And she's like, hey, I don't know if this is a better time. And I'm like, oh my God, just send me the link. Like, let's go. Let's just try this out, you know? And when that stuff arrived in the mail, it felt like a week into doing Core de Force, because I got the Core de Force DVD set, and I was eating right, I was throwing jabs, and I just felt like I could finally feel something, you know, because I went so long with not feeling anything. Like, my depression and my anxiety was so bad that I just didn't feel anything. I felt like a walking corpse all the time. The entire time Ashley was reaching out to me, that is how I felt. I couldn't feel love. I couldn't feel happiness. I just felt like this emptiness inside of me. And within a week, it just felt like literally all of those feelings were seeping out of my pores. And it was just like a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. And when my girls are complaining that people are not answering them, I say, how long did it take you to answer me? Like, first of all, hold up, let me scroll up, because it took you 6 months to answer me. This is your first month coaching. People are answering you. It's not going to come like this, guys. It comes from consistency. It comes from people trusting you. It comes from being consistent on your page and showing people who you actually are. You know, if you're having a bad day, talk about it. If you are sprouting sunshine, rainbows, and fucking glitter out of your asshole, people are not going to trust you. You have bad days because that is a human quality, you know? So if you are having a bad day, talk about it. Talk about your struggles. Talk about what you're going through, you know, because you do not have to do it alone. I'm sorry. That's what happens when I get passionate sometimes. Okay. So, my kid is a buzzkill. What's up? Yeah, in a second, okay? So, you know, show people who you actually are and show them that you are human, because they don't want perfect. They don't want, you know, size 0 Barbie who shows up every day and like, this is so easy. Who wants to join? You know, I'd be like, oh, like, I can't relate to that. You know, oh my gosh, we only have 2 minutes left. But this is basically what I'm saying anyways. So you need to be prepared to be in here for the long haul. Whether people are joining or not, you are here getting your shit done. You are doing your vitals, and that is going to domino effect into a blasting, exploding business that you did not see coming, because you did all this shit. Whether people were answering, whether people were joining, you are here and you are doing it regardless. That's it. I'm done.
No fucking words. Like, I can't. I'm screaming and crying. I have chills, and I'm just like so pumped. Yes, everybody's like, that's it. Okay, I took like a million notes, but honestly, like, we just needed your fire, and I knew we would need it. I fucking love you, Cass. Like,
I love you guys.
such an inspiration. Like, you make me fucking cry my eyes out on a daily basis. Like, but thank you so much. Like, that was everything we needed and more, and I think everyone could agree, and I'm so excited to see everyone's like top takeaways. But let's take a picture real quick. Abby, can you do it because my screen is green? So everyone, let me see your faces and smile. Is Abby figuring it out?
Did someone take the picture?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, Abby, I don't think Abby got it. Courtney, Tori, Brandy, let me see your face.
I took it.
With your computer?
Oh, no.
Oh.
We have less than a minute. Someone get their shit together now.
I think we got it.
Okay.
All right, I love you guys, and thank
I
you
love
so
you.
much, Cass. I'll talk to you
No
guys soon.
problem. Bye.
Bye.